Think of a world in which you are not dominated by your emotions, where you can maintain serenity and self-discipline when faced with challenges, where you have the ability to determine your own happiness regardless of the circumstances around you. This is the incredible potential of Stoicism, a philosophy that was shaped by ancient sages such as Mark Aurel, Seneca, and Epictetus, Greek and Roman thinkers who unlocked the secrets to living a more balanced and resilient life. A famous story from Stoicism tells the overcoming experience of Epictetus, a slave who suffered mistreatment from his master. In a moment of fury, his lord broke his leg. Epictetus, faced with this terrible adversity, looked at his injured leg and said calmly, "At least I still have one leg." This story shows Epictetus's incredible ability to control his emotions even in the face of extremely challenging circumstances. He did not let anger or resentment dominate his mind. Instead, he focused on what he could control and tried to make the best of the situation. Stoicism offers valuable lessons that can guide you in the same direction. This ancient Greek philosophy has the power to teach you how to master your thoughts and emotions, empowering you to live a more resilient and fulfilling life. Its essence lies in the art of focusing on the areas of control that belong to us and calmly accepting what is beyond our control. Throughout history, Stoicism has been adopted by some of the most influential and successful personalities who have ever lived. The fundamental principle of Stoicism is the conviction that only our own thoughts and actions are directly under our control. Everything else, such as our possessions, personal relationships, and health, is beyond our control. When we direct our attention to that which is beyond our command, we are paving the way for disillusionment and disappointment. Therefore, we must focus our efforts on what we can truly influence, ourselves. The Stoics asserted that the path to a life full of happiness and fulfillment involves focusing on the areas under our control, letting go of negative feelings like anger, resentment, and fear. This also involves calmly accepting what is beyond our control, such as past events and the actions of other people, recognizing that we cannot change them. Thus, this philosophy advocates the renunciation of fruitless worries and the calm acceptance of what we cannot change. Stoics highlight the importance of directing our efforts and energy toward issues we can influence. This does not mean becoming apathetic or indifferent to adversity, but rather focusing on acting constructively in the face of challenges. By cultivating the ability to calmly accept what we cannot change and focus our efforts on what we can influence, we build a solid foundation for a happier, more balanced and meaningful life. Stoicism thus offers a practical and wise path to facing the complexities of life and achieving lasting inner peace. It is important to emphasize that Stoicism does not transform us into insensitive robots. On the contrary, it teaches us to embrace our emotions. The Stoics valued recognizing and fully experiencing our feelings. However, the key lies in not allowing these emotions to control our actions. When an emotion arises, it's crucial to acknowledge it and allow yourself to feel its impact. However, acting impulsively or in a way that we may regret in the future is something that Stoicism advises us to avoid. As we explore this approach more deeply, we understand that the true essence of Stoicism lies in the wisdom of discerning between what is in our control and what is not. This does not imply repressing or denying our emotions, but rather developing the ability to deal with them in a constructive way. By recognizing the transience of emotions, we can learn to respond more thoughtfully, choosing actions that are aligned with our values and long-term goals. In this way, Stoicism not only helps us cultivate greater emotional awareness, but also develop the self-discipline necessary to live a more meaningful and balanced life. Stoicism stands out as a great friend in our search for a life full of happiness and satisfaction. This timeless philosophy offers us profound and practical teachings on how to control our emotions, deal effectively with challenges, and strengthen our ability to face life's complexities. As we explore the wisdom of the Stoics throughout history, we find valuable guidance that remains very relevant in today's world. If you're interested in deepening your understanding of Stoicism and discovering practical ways to apply its principles, To your daily life, this video is a unique opportunity. Together, we will begin a journey of self-knowledge and learning, exploring the path of Stoicism as a powerful tool to promote your well-being, satisfaction, and personal growth. Here are some specific ways that Stoicism can help you control your thoughts and emotions. 1. Stoicism is a powerful ally in the search for a calm and positive mind. The Stoics taught that our thoughts shape our emotions. When we allow negative emotions are likely to overwhelm us. However, by recognizing and confronting these harmful thoughts, we have the power to transform our emotions to a more positive and balanced state. 2. Stoicism offers a valuable lesson in how to direct our attention to the here and now. The Stoics argued that the only real domain we possess is the present. When our mind wanders to the past or worries about the future, we often overwhelm ourselves with anxiety and stress. However, by cultivating the ability to focus our attention on the present moment, we are able to leave these negative emotions behind, allowing us to enjoy a renewed sense of peace and satisfaction. 3. Stoicism is a valuable guide in teaching us to embrace that which is beyond our ability to change. On the journey of life, countless situations are beyond our control, such as past events, the actions of others, and the course of nature. When we stubbornly resist these inevitabilities, we only inflict anguish and suffering on ourselves. On the other hand, by embracing what we cannot change, we discover a refuge of peace and serenity. The Stoics believed that emotions are not inherently bad. They are just natural responses that human beings have to the different situations we face in life. However, the Stoics also argued that emotions can become harmful if not managed properly. When we allow emotions to rule us, we are more likely to act impulsively and engage in behaviors that we later regret. Additionally, we are more likely to experience negative emotions, such as anger, resentment, and fear. Therefore, learning to control our emotions is one of the fundamental principles of Stoicism. Within Stoic philosophy, we find a deep and meaningful approach to pursuing a life full of happiness and satisfaction. In this context, control over our emotions plays a central role. However, it is essential to understand that this control does not mean coldly and callously repressing our feelings. On the contrary, the Stoics teach us the art of emotional authenticity, which involves fully and sincerely acknowledging our feelings, allowing us to embrace them without judgment. Instead of being enslaved by our emotions, we are empowered to make conscious choices about how to respond to them. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, where self-discipline and self-reflection lead us to a state of emotional balance and inner strength. By exploring these principles, we can discover a meaningful approach to navigating the complexity of our lives in search of true happiness and fulfillment. Our thoughts have the power to shape our emotions. When our thoughts are negative, we often experience negative emotions. On the other hand, when our thoughts are positive, we are more likely to feel positive emotions. Our thoughts function as a kind of focus, determining where we direct our attention. When we focus on negative thoughts, we are in fact reinforcing the idea that things are not going well and that we are powerless over them. This can lead to feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, and anguish. On the other hand, when our thoughts are positive, we are strengthening the belief that things are under control and that we have the ability to face the challenges that arise. This tends to generate feelings of self-confidence, optimism, and empowerment. If you want to completely master your feelings, I left a link in the first comment that will help you achieve this like the Stoics did. Now, in relation to thoughts, there are a number of things you can do to control them. 1. Recognizing and confronting negative thoughts. The first step to mastering your thoughts is noticing when negative thoughts arise. Once you are aware of these thoughts, it is time to challenge them. Start by asking yourself if there are concrete reasons that justify your negative thoughts. Are you genuinely in a dangerous situation? Do you really not have the necessary skills to deal with the situation? 2. Swap negative thoughts for positive thoughts. After questioning a negative thought, replace it with a more optimistic and reality-based thought. For example, if you're thinking, "I'm going to fail the test," replace, it with the thought, "I studied diligently and am well prepared for the test." 3. Cultivate mindful presence. Mindful presence is the act of devoting your attention to the present moment without making judgments. When you practice mindful presence, you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, enabling you to control them more effectively. There are several approaches to cultivating mindful presence, such as meditation, practicing yoga, and Tai Chi. Try these different techniques to find the one that best suits your style. Once you learn to control your thoughts, you will be better able to control your emotions. However, there are some additional things you can do. 1. Open up to your emotions. Avoid trying to stifle or avoid your emotions. Instead, embrace them as normal parts of being human and allow yourself to experience them fully. There's nothing wrong with feeling sad, angry, or scared from time to time. Remember that your emotions are a natural part of the human experience. 2. Release your emotions in positive ways. After fully experiencing your emotions, look for healthy ways to release them. This may include talking to a trusted friend, expressing yourself through writing in a journal, or releasing emotional energy through physical activities like exercise. 3. Maintain control over your emotions. Just because you feel an emotion does not mean you need to act impulsively under its influence. Keep in mind that you hold the power to consciously choose how to respond to your emotions. This allows you to make thoughtful decisions instead of reacting impulsively. Here are some specific Stoic techniques you can use to control your thoughts and emotions. 1. The idea of the dichotomy of control, a Stoic principle, categorizes the world into two distinct parts: that which we can influence and that which is beyond our control. We have the power to direct our own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, but we have no control over the thoughts, actions, and attitudes of others, nor over external events, such as the weather or the economy. When our attention turns to what we cannot control, we are paving the way for disappointment and frustration. The wise alternative is to focus our efforts on what we can actually influence, and thus make the most of the situation. 2. The technique of negative visualization, a Stoic method, involves imagining the worst possible outcome in a situation. This practice helps reduce fears and anxieties. For example, if you're worried about a presentation, you might imagine forgetting the content completely or saying something embarrassing. After visualizing this negative scenario, ask yourself if it would really be so terrible. Is a mistake during a presentation really the end of the world? Probably not. In reality, mistakes can be opportunities for learning and improvement in future presentations. 3. Memento mori is a Latin expression that translates to "remember that you are mortal." It carries the Stoic teaching that life is fleeting and that we must live it fully. By keeping in mind that death is inevitable, we can gain valuable perspective and realize that the day-to-day concerns that consume us today are not as relevant in the broader picture of existence. 4. Stoic virtues are essential qualities for living a full and meaningful life. They include wisdom, which guides us in distinguishing between right and wrong and helps us make thoughtful decisions. Courage gives us the strength to face challenges and act correctly, even when the situation is difficult. Justice directs us to treat others with fairness and respect. Moderation helps us avoid extremes and maintain balance in our actions. Incorporating these virtues into our lives helps us control our thoughts and emotions, making us less susceptible to negative feelings such as anger, fear, and resentment. Stoicism is an incredibly valuable philosophy that helps us control our thoughts and emotions, leading us to a life full of happiness and satisfaction. According to the Stoics, the only area we truly control is our own thoughts and actions. Everything else, such as material possessions, relationships, and health, is beyond our reach. By focusing too much on what is beyond our control, we only set ourselves up for disappointment and irritation. The Stoics taught us an important lesson about how to live a happy, fulfilled life. Focus our efforts on what we can effectively control, while serenely accepting what escapes our control. In this search, we move away from harmful thoughts and emotions such as anger, resentment, and fear. Likewise, we accept with resignation what we cannot transform, such as the past, and the actions of others. However, we should not interpret Stoicism as an invitation to emotional callousness, as Stoics value the experience of emotions. The key is not allowing these emotions to dominate us, but rather recognizing and experiencing them consciously. This way, we avoid impulsive decisions and behaviors that would bring us future regrets. Stoicism is an ongoing journey, not a final destination to be reached once and for all. Mastering control of our thoughts and emotions does not happen overnight, but rather through constant commitment. As with any trip, time, dedication, and constant practice are required. However, the benefits you will reap along this journey are extraordinary and make every step worth it. Stoicism offers a valuable set of principles that have the potential to significantly enrich your life. By committing to this philosophy, you gain the tools to face challenges with more courage and resilience. You learn to manage your emotions, becoming less susceptible to impulsive reactions and more capable of making rational choices. Additionally, Stoicism can help you build a brighter future with a more positive outlook and a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Thus, by venturing on this journey, you open the doors to a more joyful, fulfilling, and resilient life, where true happiness and fulfillment are tangible and achievable goals. And the only way to achieve these goals is by following Marc Aurèle's philosophy so as not to feel harmed and give up along the way. So click on the video on the screen and watch it right now.